before I start talking about this car, what I have to point out is Tata Motors right now is making some of the prettiest cars in the Indian market. The latest car is this, the Tata Altroz. This follows the footsteps of the Tata Tiago, which has been a runaway success in the hatchback segment, but now Tata is taking a premium stand with their latest hatchback offering. Now, for the past 2 days in this beautiful city of Jaisalmer, I've been driving around in this car. I've managed to gather my thoughts about it. So let's find out what it's all about.
We have to start with what is going to be the biggest attraction for the Altroz, which is the way it looks. And while yes, looks are a subjective matter, to me it looks brilliant, and there are a few reasons for that. First and foremost is the stance that this car gets, which is thanks to the new Alpha Arc platform, which we will get to in a bit. There's also the fact that how almost every single design detail works towards accentuating this stance. The nose, for example, has a tipped forward position that is complemented by the chiseled hood and accentuated even further by the chrome highlight on the bottom of the grille and the blacked out elements like the projector headlamps, grille and the eyebrows on top. The vents on the front bumper are blacked out too, and the Altroz gets neatly placed fog lamps that also integrate the LED daytime running lights. But when you come to the sides, that is when you will see the most recognizable design element, which is the blacked out bezel around the window line. This too works towards the car having a tipped forward stance, making it look sporty, and at the same time makes the Altroz look like it sits wider and lower. This also integrates the rear door handles, which are neatly placed inside the C pillar. And with that, we come to the back, which is perhaps the best side of the Altroz, and that's because of the blacked out section that extends from the rear glass panel and goes around the tail lamps, which themselves have a bit of a 3D effect going on as they protrude outwards. All in all, the Altroz plays really well with the lights and shadows to make it stand out, and the design gives it its own unique identity. However, there is a downside to all these blacked out elements, as given our dusty driving conditions, keeping them clean will be a bit of a task. But this impressive design story continues on towards the inside as well. But before you get there, you will notice that the doors open to a full 90 degrees, which is incredible and is all thanks to the new platform. This feature makes coming in and out of the car the easiest in its segment.
Now, one of the first things that you will notice the moment you sit inside the Tata Altroz is, well, the interior design. Now, Tata Motors have used a lot of shades and colors like they usually do, but somehow they've been getting away with it and making it work. And the story is no different in the Altroz as well. But one of the first things that you will also notice is that the quality of materials used inside the cabin has gone up substantially as well.
There are enough compartment spaces on offer too, with enough space to keep your knickknacks, and Tata has also given umbrella holders in the front doors. But it's not all perfect, as while there has been a massive improvement in the ergonomics department, giving the driver a commanding driving position, the knee room is still a bit less, especially for taller drivers. And unfortunately, there are still issues with the fitting of the panels, but given that these were pre-production models that we drove, we expect this to be sorted out by the time the car reaches the market. But what the Altroz surely impresses with is the features that are on offer. For starters, the car offers ambient lighting, and there is a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system that also supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. The touch response is good, and there is no lag whatsoever, which is a big improvement in this department by Tata Motors. The glove box is huge as well, and also has a parcel tray, is illuminated and cooled too. There is a new steering wheel on offer, which has a flat bottom design and is very good to hold. There are a host of buttons on it too, which feel premium and tactile. And there's also the Power Digital Instrument Cluster, which is 7 inches in size and shows pretty much everything there is to know. Next to it, you have the analog speedometer, which has a very weird shape going on, as if it is falling to the right to make space for the screen. Nevertheless, the cabin overall has a premium feel and is definitely out there taking the fight to the competition.
Coming to the back of the Tata Altroz, well, right now the driver's seat has been set according to my height, and for reference, I'm 5'10". And you can see I still have great amount of knee room on offer. There's decent leg room, shoulder room and head room on offer as well. Overall, it's a nice, airy, spacious cabin to be in. What it more than makes up with for the not so good under thigh support though, is that it gets a flat floor, which means if you put this armrest up, you can have 3 people sitting abreast with ease.
And if we talk about the driving experience, Well, let's start with the petrol engine. This is a 1.2 litre 3-cylinder unit that is BS6 emission norm compliant and makes 86 PS of power and 113 Newton meters of torque. This gets an auto start stop feature and loves to be driven around at lower RPMs and at a higher gear. But in the case of a quick overtake, you will need to downshift a gear, as otherwise the car just leaves you wanting for more. And the 5-speed gearbox that it comes with is also not the slickest one out there. The 1.5 litre diesel engine, on the other hand, gets itself a turbocharger, which makes things a lot better. This does not feel gasping for breath when you put the throttle down, as instead it surges ahead with ease. This engine too is BS6 emission norm compliant, and it makes 90 PS of power and an impressive 200 Newton meters of torque. In terms of refinement, this is not a 3-cylinder unit like the petrol engine, and it's a 4-cylinder engine instead. Hence, there is minimal clatter. Tata has also improved the NVH levels inside the car, so not a lot of it makes its way through inside the cabin. But remember the Alpha Arc platform that we spoke about at the beginning? Well, that is the new generation platform made by Tata, and it offers absolutely beautiful driving dynamics. The ride quality is pliant even at high speeds, and the Altroz feels planted during corners. And at low speeds, it swallows potholes and broken roads with ease. And this, the driving quality, is the strongest point of the Altroz and the one you will remember it for.
So to sum up my thoughts about the Tata Altroz, well, it is a really good car that drives really well, but there are a few things that it could have used, like say an automatic gearbox, which is a glaring omission right now. Tata Motors say that it is on its way, but we'll have to wait to see how long does that take. Nevertheless, the package that we have right now, well, we don't know what the pricing is going to be. But if the recent Tata strategy is anything to go by, then the Altroz is going to be aggressively priced, and very well, it might undercut the other offerings in this segment as well. If that is the case, then this will be a really good value for money car.